Schools shooters tend to act impulsively and attack the targets of their rage, students and faculty. But Harris and Klebold planned for a year and dreamed much bigger. The school served as a means to a grander end, to terrorize the entire nation by attacking a symbol of American life. Their slaughter was aimed at students and teachers, but was not motivated by the resentment of them in particular.
The original plan was to set up bombs in the school, which would kill way more people, but that didn't work. Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold were radically different individuals with vastly different motives and opposite mental conditions. Klebold is easier to comprehend, a more familiar type. He was hot-headed but depressive and suicidal. He blamed himself for these problems.
Harris is the challenge. He was sweet-faced and well-spoken. Adults and even some other kids described him as nice, but Harris was cold, calculating, and homicidal. Klebold was hurting inside while Harris wanted to hurt people. Harris was not merely a troubled kid, the psychiatrists say. He was a psychopath. Harris also had a journal that he wrote this.
Main event. At approximately 11:19 a.m., Dylan Klebold and Eric Harris dressed in black trench coats and began shooting students outside Columbine High School, outside Denver. Then they moved inside the school where they killed many other victims in the library. By approximately 11:35 a.m., Klebold and Harris had killed 12 students and a teacher and wounded more than 20 others. Shortly after 12 p.m., they turned their guns on themselves and committed suicide. The FBI later learned Harris and Klebold had arrived in separate cars at Columbine around 11:10 on the morning of the massacre. Then they walked into the school cafeteria where they placed 2 duffel bags, each containing a 20-pound propane bomb set to explode at 11:17 a.m. The teens then went back outside to their cars to wait for the bombs to go off. When the bombs failed to detonate, Harris and Klebold began their shooting spree. Right after the shootings, it was speculated that Harris and Klebold purposely chose athletes, minorities, and Christians as their victims. It intentionally was reported that one student, Cassie Burno, was asked by one of the gunmen if she believed in God. When she said yes, she was shot to death. Her parents later wrote in a book titled "She Said Yes," honoring their daughter in her life. The victims of the shooting were Cassie Burno, 17 years old, Stephen Kernow, 14, Corey DePorter, 17, Kelly Fleming, 16, Matthew Ketcher, 16, Daniel Mazur, 15, Daniel Warber, 15, William Dave Sanders, 47, Rachel Scott, 14, Isaiah Scholes, 18, John Tomlin, 16, Lauren Townsend, 18, and Kyle Velasquez, 16.
Once the horrible actions of Dylan and Eric had ended, students, families, teachers, and communities were deeply impacted. Everyone had a different experience and effect from the terror caused by the 2 shooters, but all of them were significant and lasting. After time to process and heal, students began to open up about the nightmarish day that would be remembered forever. It made schools and students across the nation be affected by the worst shootings and had to adapt to a new era, which consists of having to be ready for the worst. This results in many schools and students now having to be prepared in case of future shootings occurring, in which many people across the country have taken matters into their own hands to ensure that schools become more safe and that students are protected. Schools now have metal detectors, and now they have more secure doors all around the school before anyone would be able to walk in. And they have IDs to let people know who they are.